explain a little bit to somebody who doesn't know much about obesity, the pathophysiology, so the things that are going wrong in the body that happens when there's a pet that's overweight?
Right. And in simplest terms, there's a clear distinction between obesity, which is a disease state, as you mentioned, a pathophysiology storm that is causing damage to multiple organs, if not all of the entirety of the body, and just being overweight. And the clinical distinction really begins at what type of irreversible damage is occurring. And I think that that's a great starting point for this conversation, because when Esme and I are talking about obesity, already in our mind, we have transcended, oh, your cat's a little portly or a little chunky or chonky or whatever, right? We now see a chronic inflammatory state. So see, I don't see like extra fat. I see the chemicals and compounds that fat tissue is producing. And this is one of the other myths and misperceptions, is people think of fat tissue as being this inert lump, right? It's something that makes it more difficult to put on your jeans or makes it unsightly to slip into a bikini in the summer. And so we don't think of it as being a biologically active tissue, just like your pancreas or your liver or your kidney. And in fact, in the world of endocrinology, we refer to fat tissue as the second pancreas, because second to the pancreas, fat tissue produces the second most amount of compounds and hormones and chemicals. So this is really, really dynamic tissue. So now when I see that kitty cat who has 4 pounds of fat, so it's now, let's say it's a 15, 16 pound cat that should weigh 10 or 11 pounds.
Yeah.
And I suddenly see an entire organ system that's pumping out continuously harmful chemicals. We call them adipokines, adipocytokines. Some people have shortened it to cytokines. But regardless of what you call it, these are pro-inflammatory chemicals that are causing damage to the brain, to the liver, to the kidney, to the joints, right? So everything that the blood touches, these chemicals are being transferred and then causing the damage. So again, for purposes of tonight, obesity is a disease state that causes a multitude of severe consequences. It causes a multitude of other diseases like diabetes in cats, like high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease. I mean, we can go on and on. Cancer, of course, is the big thing that I'm most concerned about, versus just a few extra pounds, which is still biologically active, but you probably haven't caused irreversible damage. So hopefully that maybe settles a little bit of the score between obesity, disease. Being overweight is just something that we want to avoid getting